Let's look at 7.NS.1c. Let's look at these problems. The number system problems. What is the equivalent expression for 2/3 minus 4/5? Okay, so equivalent expression could mean a lot of different things. One thing that we can notice here is that this is subtraction, and all of these are addition. So let's just change this to addition. So if we have 2/3 minus 4/5, we know that subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So instead of subtracting 4/5, we're going to add the opposite of 4/5, which is negative 4/5. Now, this didn't say to solve, this just said which of these is equivalent. So let's look. Which of these looks like this? That would be 2/3 plus negative 4/5. The answer to number 1 is B. So 1 is B. Moving on. Number 2. How does the expression, the absolute value of 9 minus negative 5, relate to the numbers negative 5 and 9 on the number line? Okay, so let's read through these examples to see exactly what they want us to kind of think of. So does the expression show that 9 is greater than negative 5? So is looking here, can we tell that 9 is greater than negative 5? That's not what it shows. So A, the answer can't be A. Looking at number 2, the expression shows that negative 5 is to the left of 0 and 9 is to the right of 0 on a number line. Well, we know that, but this doesn't show that at all. So A and B are out. C, the expression represents the sum of negative 5 and 9. The key word here is sum. Is this a sum? Well, it could be, but if we change this to a sum, this would change as well. And so it would be 9 plus 5. And this is saying 9 plus negative 5. So it can't be C. The answer has to be D. But let's look and make sure. The expression represents the distance between negative 5 and 9 on a number line. Distance is marked by subtraction. So yes, this does represent the distance between 9 and negative 5 on a number line. So the answer to 2 is D. Moving on to 3. Which of the following expressions results in the distance between negative 5 and 6? So for number 3, we can say that we want the distance between negative 5 and 6. So you can make a number line if you need to. This is negative 5, this would be 6, and 0 would be right about here. So what is this distance? And you could simply count them, or we could find the distance being subtraction, and we don't subtract, we would add the opposite. So this is 11, and if we counted here, it would be 11 as well. So this is asking which of these represents 11, or if you solve these, which of these give you 11? So let's look through A. So we have the absolute value of 6 minus 5. So let's keep working to the right here. So we have the absolute value, 6 minus 5 is 1. So the absolute value of 1 is 1. Does that match? No. Let's move on to B. The absolute value of 6 minus negative 5. Again, these lines mean absolute value. So that is the absolute value. We don't subtract, we will add the opposite. So 6 plus 5 is 11, and the absolute value of 11 is 11. So this one works. And we could go on to the others to make sure. So let's do that. C. You have the absolute value of negative 5 minus the absolute value of 6. That gives us 5 minus, because the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, minus the absolute value of 6, which is 6. And that gives us negative 1. That does not work. Moving on to D. we have the absolute value of 5 minus 6, which gives us the absolute value of 5 minus 6 is negative 1, and the absolute value of negative 1 is 1, so that does not work. Which of these works? Just B, so the answer to 3 is B.